Okay, this video is going to be about how I put this little whatever crawler truck together. The thing is, on this, I just used parts that I had, just parts that were laying around the garage. I had a couple axles, front and rear axle. I had a servo and all that stuff. So I'll show you what I did putting it together. And basically, that's just all the video is about. All right, so you can notice I have a couple keys sitting on both sides there. That's just to get me aligned so I can get these links lined up. I'm gonna probably make a metal bar there and pull the keys out. It seems to articulate pretty well, so that's a good thing. I mean, I guess if I'm gonna use it as a crawler, but I don't know if I'll use it as a crawler. All right. Okay, so on the side rails of the Everest 10, it just has a really small setup there, so you can't really reach out to get to your shocks very well. These shocks are actually a little bit long, because I'd rather have them up a little bit more, but if I go any higher than that, then the drive shaft is going to be really radical angle. But like I say, these little side bars, I just make them out of flat stock aluminum, you know. It's just stuff you can do real easy. Anyways, moving on, I've got to put a battery tray in, so the battery tray will probably set in the back there, down low. In the Everest 10, it's set really high. Yeah, it'll sit in low. Motor will go up front. I'm not even going to put a front drive shaft. It'll just be a rear-wheel drive for a while until I can, because I don't want to spend any money on this. I mean, I got really nice hot racing shocks on there that I had that didn't work on some of my other cars, but it'll work on this one just fine. So yeah, utilizing the old parts. I'm just going to use this servo that I had. It's a 35 kilograms, so it should work real well. I'm going to go ahead and use this receiver. It's a 7-channel radio link, whatever, receiver. So I'll be able to add lights and maybe even a crane off the back or a winch or something. I don't know. Okay, now I need to decide on a free motor. What car can I pull a free motor out of? I think I'm going to take the motor out of this Granite because I just don't drive it much and it just doesn't get used. Okay, it's harvesting time. I'm going to go ahead and take this motor, this CSC, and put it in my little experimental rig. I just don't drive the Granite much. I mean, I may put it back together someday, but for now, it gives me something to do. Okay, the module's out with the motor attached, and I'm ready to go. What I like about breaking cars down is all the stuff you find inside them. You think you got them clean, but you don't, man. That's crazy. Okay. Okay, there we have the motor. Needs a little cleaning, but it's a good motor. Okay, I pretty much got everything I need. I like to have everything really clean when I'm working. I don't like dirty stuff. I even armor all my tires with Armor All. You know what the heck? After each run, I clean them and armor all. But you know, just why have ugly looking stuff? You know, get it clean. Everything should be clean. I always really like the heat sink and fan that they have on the BLX 100, but there's no way it's going to fit in here, so it's got to come off. Just no way to do it. It's only could slide forward. Oh boy, that's a tight fit. Come on, baby. Boy, that's a tight fit. A little bit of dirt doesn't help. Oh God, got my go take that apart off camera. All right, got it apart, and probably because all the dirt that was in there, it just wasn't releasing. But anyways, yeah, there's your motor, nice and clean, no problem. I mean, that's super clean, nice. Okay, all right, moving on. Okay, keeping with the theme of not spending any money, that's why I went with this motor, because hopefully it'll fit. Yeah, I think it'll go in there just fine, yeah. I want to put that gear on it because I want my mesh to work properly. I'll leave a link of everything in the description so you guys can tell what's going on here. But I'm going to swap out this pinion and get the motor installed. That means this cover has to come off and a couple screws, no big deal. See if I can get at it. Basic things you run into when you're designing your own little setup. This link is actually keeping this cover from coming off. I can't get it off with that link in the way there, so I'll pull it. Not a big deal. And I'll pull it. Oh, come on, man. It's a long screw. Oh, boy. Yeah, it's not like you designed it with a design crew or nothing, but that's not a big deal. I mean, you don't have to get in there that often, so it gets it out of the way. All right, let's get that motor in. Something I should mention about this transmission, it's a 2-speed transmission and a small servo mounts up here, and actually there's a place where an arm goes in, I'm not sure, right here I guess, and takes it from first to second gear. I don't know if I'm going to set all that up right now, but it might be interesting to give it a shot. The motor, I'm just waiting for the soldering iron to heat up because that grub screw is really tight. Normally I don't have trouble getting grub screws out. I can usually always get them out. This time I'm going to heat it because I don't want to risk it. Okay, the pinion came right off with the little bit of heat from the soldering iron. I noticed though that there was rust on the shaft a little bit, so maybe that's what's holding it up there. Thing's been in water and stuff. Okay, it happens to be a 17-tooth pinion that came with this. I just got to get some Loctite on there. Oh, well, let's stop this for a moment. All right, because I think to set the motor up, I'm just pulling the whole transmission out. Get that off to the side. Then I can get to it a little bit easier. Not that hard to pull the tranny on this one. Something nice about the Ryft transmission is that the Arma ESC fits on there perfectly. Bolts right to it. That's really nice. I don't know what other ESCs will bolt to it like that, but this one does. This one, it's going to be turning this way because the battery's towards the back. I'm going to get rid of this extra lead here because it's not going to be needed. And it's just kind of funky. But anyways, let's get it going. Step 24. Someone told me one time about knives and cutting. And they said, don't get bloody, cut towards your buddy. I don't know if that's a good one though, but anyways, yeah, don't get bloody, cut towards your buddy. Just cut away from yourself, at least. That's the main thing. Yeah, it's all come apart. No problem. No problem. Yeah, I really don't need this, so it's going to be in the way. You know me and wires. I don't like the extra stuff. All right, let's continue. I really like this chassis design because you can do whatever you want with it. I mean, it's like an erector set. You can just make all kinds of stuff with it. I happen to have some pretty good parts. I actually had this little fuel cell receiver box that I'll mount in here. I'll probably put some crossbars in to hold it in, and then get my battery tray in, and then I should be ready to roll. Let's continue. I thought I'd show you this. This is the original Everest 10 transmission here, and something happened with it. I can't remember. I don't know. It stripped out gears or something. I didn't bother with it. So this one was like 24 bucks. I mean, the bearings weren't that great in it, but I mean, it's got a little wobble. I don't know. No big deal. But I'm just saying these transmissions are pretty inexpensive. Oh well, let's move on. Thought I'd show you that. Okay, I'm going to show you everything as I go. Here's the two axles for the rear, the two drive shafts for the rear axle. This one, it just, I don't know, it just kind of chewed up the end a little bit, so I replaced it. Front one's totally destroyed, but it's a CVD, so anyways, I just thought I'd show you those. Now I've got all kinds of different drive shafts. This one I drilled out because this shaft is larger diameter than this one, so I drilled this one out earlier when I was messing around and used it for a little bit, but it's not long enough. One of these two will have to be used to be long enough. This is about the longest one. Either one of them. This one's probably stronger though. I don't know. We'll see. I'll try them both. Okay, you probably see just a big mess right now, but it's coming along. I just wanted to show you the progress as I go. the receiver box I'm going to mount up in here. I need to put some bracing in. I'll have to put one brace in here. So, you know, I've got tons of all thread, so, you know, I'll just use that up. I don't want to have to go to the hardware store. I got a lot of short pieces that are not going to be long enough, but I might have a coupler or something. I'll figure something out. Make it nice, you know. Just, I don't want to spend not a penny on this thing. So, it's getting there. All right, guys, what do you think? The receiver I have is a dual antenna, so I made this so I could swivel it. I mean, because the parts I have, do what you can do with what you have. So I'll be able to have both my antennas coming up in the middle there. So, yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? Kind of funky, huh? Getting there. Right, guys, there's the finished product. It came out pretty nice, actually. I mean, dual antennas and everything. Suspension's real nice. I've got plenty of articulation on the thing. I mean, it came out excellent. Beautiful, beautiful. Didn't have to spend a penny on it. I threw a battery in it, started it up, and, you know, just spun it up a little bit. And I've only got the rear drive shaft on it. So when I did that, I noticed that the short side on this one, so I'm doing it now. Oh, the short axle was just spinning free. That's bizarre. Anyways, the axles are just, this one here, the front universal axle, is like 45 bucks for this short axle. Well, they'll give you both axles, but I don't need both. I just need the short. And I need the short in the rear too. I know I do. I know that thing's spinning. See there, look at it. Just kind of freewheeling. So that's what I get. You know, so really, basically I have a one-wheel drive. I don't want to leave it like that, so I don't want to dump 75 bucks into the thing right now. Okay, here's pretty much the final look of the truck after I'm done with it. This was just a little project that I did out of spare parts that I had laying around. So anyways, the Axial Wraith, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, W-R-A-I-T-H, Wraith, axles are the only downside to this truck right now. The short axles in front and in the rear both are breaking on me. So I saw a video of a guy that he shortened his axles. He took like axles like this, you know, plastic ones, and just literally cut them off the hacksaw and then put an aluminum tube on the inside and then just shortened them. But he also shortened not only the axle housing, but the drive shaft. So what he did is he just took them and cut them off and ground down the end flat. I would think that you could cut them off and, you know, pound them down flat might even be better, but I don't know if it might bend them or something. But yeah, but if I can do that, I can just take this long one, which I'm not using, and make a short axle. But the weird thing is the rear and front axles on this truck, I think I paid 75 bucks or some ridiculous amount, under 100 bucks. And I still see them right now for that same price, pretty much. So if these axles are $22.99 and the front universal axles are $45.54, basically the same price as what I paid for the complete setup with bearings, axles, everything, housing. So it's not really something you want to just run out and buy. So today I got lucky and I found them for a lot cheaper. So I think I found front and rear both sets, and they're Axial for like, I don't know, what was it? Like, I don't know, like $27. So for all four, that's a pretty good deal, I think. That's reasonable. But I think I am going to try to shorten one and make a short shaft for this for the rear and just, you know, see if it works. And get in here and look and see what's going on. Maybe these are spaced out too far, because like I showed you on this one will engage and disengage, but maybe it's just not going in far enough. You know, I don't know. I just don't know enough about that type of an axle. I don't know that much about anything really. But anyways, there she is. Okay, I might have it worked out. It's engaged really well now. What was happening is these shafts were just a little bit too short. So what I did is I took the long one that I didn't need, of course, and cut it down. So it was just you know, a few millimeters longer, you know, like a 64th of an inch in American terms. But anyways, this is the original shaft, and you can see it's got like a large bulge in it here. This one just has, this is the Axial one that I bought from Axial. And it has just a stop there for the bearing where the bearing goes up against, the same with that. But like I say, just making it just a little bit longer and cutting it off and then flattening it out with the Dremel tool, you know, so it's got a flat edge. It fits into the cup because it was barely engaged in the cup, and that was what the problem was. So pretty much I think I have the fix for it. So I might have to do the same in the front, but we'll see. Maybe there's some kind of spacer or something that's missing. I don't know enough about the Axial, but all I know is by lengthening them, it's not coming out now. It's working good. Okay, I forgot to show you a couple things on my little creature. The battery fits in there perfectly, and I don't have a bunch of extra wire. It's pretty nice and tight. You know, it fits in there good. And I put a little license plate sticker on the back so that when the body's on, just shows a license plate like. And up front on the receiver box, I put a port in there, a jack for some DC voltage for lights and stuff. So it's a lot easier if I use something like this to plug in, you know what I mean? And I just plug it in and the wiring goes up to the body. So that way it just makes it simpler. You know, that's easy to plug and unplug these compared to the 3-wire little mini plugs that they give you with RC stuff. But anyways, yeah, that's it. So there's really no wire going anywhere other than the wire going to the switch, the servo in the front, and the ESC, and that's it. That is it. All right, looking good, man. I'm not getting even one-handed put the body on. These little foam pieces, they work perfect for this width of body, and they're just tubular foam. They slide over these nice aluminum body posts. I didn't bother to go up. I just went back to the old style that they had on it. The holes are kind of big, so it just goes on real easy. Look, I'm done, man. I don't even need clips. That thing's not going anywhere. It's perfect. Pretty cool. I don't know if it'll run very good, but came out okay. All right, I think I'm going to sign off now. You guys are probably getting really bored of this truck.